Well, we're gonna have to fight over it now.
No, you don't have to hold it, just leave it there.
Well, you gotta turn,
Yeah, it's right in that basket.
no, but you've got it turned up so it'll pick us
Yeah.
up without holding it close?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So we're trying something new.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't mean to start something new, but. I'll have to stick it up there.
Hey, folks, all about the green. We're back once again. You're hearing the pre-show technical details being ironed out. Don't touch that microphone, Don. That's the rule today.
He's doing the basket thing.
Yeah, we're in basket case.
We're in the basket case. I might turn it up a little bit. We'll see. I tried it from there.
There we go. I just made myself a nickel.
There you go.
I clicked on one of the ads on my channel. How's that?
You should just have it closer by.
You should get half of that.
You should get half of my nickel.
Don should have the whole nickel, plus another nickel.
Yeah, I don't doubt. Oh, there we go. Clicks and beeps says hi, whoever that is. Let's come back and check now and then. Hey, y'all.
So hopefully that works with that mic there. So.
You don't need everyone to see all the sugar you're going to be eating. Yeah, you got half of it right on your chest right there
No,
anyway.
that's not bad. That's
We're gonna give him another one.
probably toast. Lunch.
It's food either way, isn't it? So Kendall wanted me to ask you if you know any carpenters that can rebuild windows for us. Like if I pull out a twisty out part, can you know anyone?
I don't quite understand. your
We've got a
question.
couple of hot tub windows that go out like this and they're rotted pretty bad.
Oh, honey buns.
Yeah, and they got to get rebuilt and put back in. Hey folks, welcome to it. All about the green. Can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, you're kind of echoey.
I'm echoey. He says get closer. There you go. We got technical difficulties this week. Thank you for joining us.
And this is basket.
It's Basket Mike Day.
Yep, we're all sharing the same mic, and it's in the basket with the singing end right on out the top of the basket.
It's just sitting there waiting for words, right? Well, we're here every Tuesday at 3:30 that we can make it at DJ's Energy Saving Store here in Monticello, Minnesota. You can also find anything we're talking about here today, well, not anything, most anything, on djscompanies.com website, djscompanies.com. So check stuff out there. The reason I say not quite everything, I mean, do you have geothermal stuff on there?
No, I probably have some, yes.
Some. You got any of my solar stuff?
No, it's not,
You got wind turbine stuff?
it's not the turbine store or the solar store.
No, it's not. But that's why I'm just trying to be honest with the people, that not everything we talk about is on your website.
So anyhow, it seems like this is the last hot day.
That's what it looks like.
And from here on in, it's the fall start. The leaves start to change colors faster.
Yeah, they're already starting.
Yeah, and
Because it's so dry this year at times.
and faster, dry. Yeah, we did. It was.
We had like a lot of long dry spells.
That's what summer's about.
It's like we had summer and then spring this year. Because we kind of didn't really have all these showers and stuff earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But we had summer, it got hot right away, but then that kind of went away and we got back to spring after a while.
But anyhow, global whatever it is working good.
Global warming?
Yep, we're not freezing yet.
Climate change?
Climate change.
The whole point is we're not going to freeze if there's global warming, Don.
No.
Global warming, we're going to be just fine up
I
here.
think there might be freezing in Europe this winter.
That's Europe. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, anyhow.
That's up to them.
Well,
That's their own game.
they got to have two sticks and rub them together and start a fire this winter.
I read an article where the forests over there are already being foraged out for firewood. And it's not even winter yet.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, there you go. So look at that. We've got a confirmation source. It must be true.
It's kind of funny when you hear that you can't even get wood.
Right.
And here we sell it at every gas station.
Yeah, but it's not cheap.
Oh no, it did not say
It's
that
not
about
cheap at all.
But when you're free, it's like being in a desert, no water, and that you would pay any kind of money for a glass of water. When you're freezing to death, you'll pay just about anything for a log too,
Or a honey.
or a honey.
You can have yourself a honey and just snuggle up. You know, Europe's gonna go back to the old ways where all the kids slept in the same bed so they could stay warm. And you get the stocking caps on at night, right?
Yeah, no?
I'm already old enough that I sleep with my socks on in the winter. I stay a lot warmer if I do that.
I try that every now and then, and sometimes it works, and sometimes I says, I gotta get them off.
Yeah, I just stay warmer, you know. As you get older, that circulation changes kind of thing.
So anyhow, we changed the showroom around a little bit. We got the
A
wood
little
stoves
bit.
up front, we got the pellet grills in the back, and we're bringing out some electrics now,
Now, I assume that's because winter's coming.
because winter's coming. That's exactly right. Seasons are-
Did you hear that? John said the turbine guy was exactly right.
He was right.
I'm not gonna let that one go by
Well,
without an acknowledgement.
Yeah, he's right. He had an idea that winter was coming, and he hit it this year.
Yeah.
Last year, I don't think he hit it.
No, I don't know. I think winter hit us.
Yeah.
That's I was talking to somebody, he's like, yeah, I think winter's coming. I said, we always know winter's coming.
Yeah,
That's,
so,
it's just a matter of when.
so the barbecues, we have several left. Are you with me? And if you're interested in a 5-star pellet grill, come on in, DJs,
Wireless.
and wireless.
Cool. Cool as crap. I don't know how else to put it.
Temperature control, we have them. And in furnaces and airs, we have them. Fireplaces, we have them.
Now, just about everything you're talking about, you can play with on your little smartphone, can't you?
Well, just about everything. You can almost hook a smartphone up to it today. That's what they're doing.
Well, you heard about the pillow guy when the boys came and took his phone away. He's like, but I run everything on here. I even run, you know, my sleep apnea stuff on my. You can't have my phone. And that's the whole point. Doesn't everybody run everything off their phones these
Hi.
days?
Well, pretty much. That's why they
a
call
while
it a
back, You
smartphone.
guys have a manual.
The flip phones are gone. The smartphones are in.
Okay.
When the smart,
Let me
see if Dave is back
excuse me, when the phones start making decisions for themselves, then they're smart. They're still dumb phones because they still have to be instructed what to do.
Well, they kind of instruct me at times. I type in GPS and it tells me exactly how to get there. So they're smarter than you give them credit for.
You had to get, all they did, you gave them an address and a point, and they ran an algorithm, boom. plotted out
Well,
three
that's
courses for
smart.
you.
That's smart. That's smart.
You know what's really
It
smart?
told me how to go there.
You know what's really smart about my phone? Gas Buddy.
Gas buddy.
I'm going down to Buffalo and get cheap gas right after this show.
See, then again, the smartphone's getting you.
When
Smartphone's saving you money.
I drove cross country, when we got to Denver, we could look on the phone and find $3.14 gas when all around us it was $3.79. Yeah, we had to go 10 minutes out of our way, but geez, for 60, 70 cents a gallon?
Yeah, well, that's a smartphone. I gotta tell you, that's a smartphone.
Yeah, well, it's all about the green.
It is all about the
And that's saving you green. It's about being efficient.
efficient is important.
It's the way it is.
Go back to the fireplace because that season has started and the wood has started.
No, it starts tomorrow.
Oh, well,
I'm not gonna ruin today. Let's let everybody have today. It's such a nice day now.
well, it is a nice day. It's a
Let's
nice
let
day to
everybody
get
have
this kind of work done.
Yeah, I got up and I was doing a little bit of housework this morning and I had my sweats on. I'm like, man, I'm getting hot. This is kind of nice. You know, so I changed into the shorts and all that and ready to go. And it is beautiful outside. I don't want to ruin it. Let's say tomorrow.
Okay,
You
so
know,
this is
so-
tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow, this is the time, Don.
No, this is the time though. It may be tomorrow. Chances are you can't get here tonight.
Well, by the
But you
time
can get here tomorrow.
they see it on my YouTube channel, it might be tomorrow.
It might be tomorrow. So anyhow, we got wood stoves that burn up to 30 hours.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? 30 hours.
And then we've got 20-hour stoves.
That's crazy too.
And then we got 10 and 12-hour stoves.
Those are more average, but still, I mean, I've told you this story how many times growing up. The family had a cycle. Every 2 hours, someone had to get up, stoke the fire to keep the house warm. And all summer long, all they did was cut wood to do that.
Yeah, well, that's what some people are doing now because especially, well, they can't even cut wood over in Europe. Let's don't go there.
Because it's gone.
It's gone. I just think, and no wonder why we have global warming. There's no trees to change the weather back.
Well, that's actually really important what you just said, Don, because we all remember the Aztecs
Yep.
and what was going on in Central and South America and all that. And they finally decided why that civilization died out. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they deforested everything as they built their civilization. They didn't have a reforestry type plan. And then that changed the weather. And then they couldn't grow crops, and then people died. So what you just said is so important. You can't just go take. You have to have a progressive thing that'll replenish. You have to help it replenish
Yeah,
itself.
well, that kind of happened with the buffalo, didn't it? They kept taking, didn't let it replenish.
Yeah, the buffalo's gone for the most
So,
part.
yeah, when you get greedy in life, it's not a very good show.
No, you have to be smart about what you do. You have to, just like you have a smartphone, you have to have a smart force. You have to have a smart things. Yeah, everything you do. And you know, you and I think that way. That's just kind of how we are. You know, we think in a conservational thing, well, I'm not gonna waste this or do that. But you have to, everybody has to learn to apply that all the way around.
Well, I think it even applies to oil.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now
Minimize.
and the issues are happening. Eventually, whether we're gonna run out of oil someday, that will happen someday.
Now, I do remember reading the articles when I was growing up saying by what year we were gonna be out of oil, Don. Come on, what year did they say?
2050.
2020.
Oh, I heard 2050.
I remember growing up reading articles that said 2020. I also remember articles saying the next ice age is coming.
I remember reading an article, and this is a true story, you might say he's full of baloney, but if the earth had a 2-mile crust and the rest of it was filled with oil back in the 70s, and if we would have kept expanding the use of oil like it was, the expansion would keep going,
Yep.
yeah, we would run out in 2050. They'd suck that whole thing dry.
It's the same kind of thing. It's the same kind of fight. But what has really saved us from that happening, other than the fact that there's always more oil there, and it seems to be producing oil.
Well, the only answer I can come up with quick is a Volkswagen. Ah!
The Volkswagen. Not necessarily the Volkswagen, but technology. Improvements in technology. I got a 1973 Chevy Monte Carlo with a 350 with a 4-barrel quadrajet, 260 horsepower Chevy 350. That baby could help. You going 70 miles an hour and you punched it, and it would go poof, and take off and pass somebody, right?
Yeah.
I got the exact same engine in my now that engine got about 8 to 9 miles to the gallon. If you think about that. My 96 Chevy pickup truck with the exact same 260 horsepower Chevy 350 in it, probably weighed about the same, I'd say. Got 15 miles to the gallon.
No, let me prove my point now.
Double.
When you pass that Volkswagen, it was getting 40 miles to the gallon. That's what saved us.
Yeah, well, but they say that, but the thing's got to be able to like make it actually up the hill when the wind is blowing against it.
Well, you don't have to go up.
Hey, that 40 miles an hour doesn't include all that.
Well, it may not, but it got me to the top of the hill, and we didn't get greedy getting to the top of the hill.
Yeah, you had to have a couple of people get out. Here, get out while we finish getting up here, then you can hop back in on top. No, there's always been cars like that. I remember the Honda commercial from the 70s, I think, right when the oil crisis came. We're kind of dating ourselves here, right? When the big oil crisis came, and they showed a freeway full of vehicles in traffic jam, and then a freeway full of Hondas for every vehicle, and boom, everyone could drive because there's all kinds of room.
See?
You know,
Volkswagen, Honda,
that.
whatever the story is. Energy savers.
You know, I remember when the Taiwanese came and I picked them up in Atlanta for the wind power show down there. I got them at the airport and I picked them up at my Chevy 2500 crew cab, right? They got in there and we're driving back to the hotel. These two Taiwanese are just looking around at my truck, and Bubba was there with me. He heard this. They're like, wow, we couldn't even have this in Taiwan. I go, what do you mean? It wouldn't fit down the road. It's that simple, you know?
No, see, there again, they're a lot smaller people, most of them.
But that is true, and that's part of it. There's plenty of houses in Minnesota that are built with short roofs that are still around, short ceilings, because why? They didn't want so much space to heat, so they built it as big as they needed it. You know, that's kind of the efficiency deal.
Yep.
But that's why we're here. We're talking if you gotta do something, or if you wanna do something, you might as well pick out the biggest and the best and get something super efficient, right, Don? Like this geothermal,
There he be.
400% efficient.
Yes, and I can, to the fact that a 10-foot ceiling's harder to heat than an 8-foot ceiling.
Oh, geez, yeah.
It's amazing, but it's a fact.
Oh, there's just so much more space.
And then you can put bigger windows in too.
Yeah.
So, what good is to have 10-foot ceiling without big windows?
Well, we got the great room and all that, that's all vaulted and stuff. But that's where we've got your super duper efficient fireplace, that little corner unit
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
right there. So, when the winter does come and you all wanna sit in a cozy room, we just fire that up for a few minutes and hang out and watch TV.
So, back to geothermal, because that season, to get one in, it needs to be done fairly quick, or.
At least the drain field part.
Yep, so you can get the outside work done, because once the ground's froze, it's gonna be hard to, get, all the stuff you need to into the ground to make that thing work.
Yeah, well, that's Minnesota in general. There's certain construction activities that are limited by nature, period. And you can actually do it, but it turns out to be so expensive, it's just not worth doing it, or unsafe. Like in the winter, you ain't gonna get me going on anybody's roof for solar. That's just too unsafe.
So we'll see what this winter does. Everybody pay attention to your bills this winter. We know electricity's going up. We've got a good idea natural gas is going up, and if you locked in.
What do you mean a good idea? You told me just a couple of shows ago I was here that it's gone up 500% over the last year.
Well, it's gone up a ton, no doubt about
that's
it.
what you told
I
me.
never said 500.
Yeah, it was 5 times. You said it was like $2 to $10.
It was $10. Now it's backed off to $7.50.
Oh, so it's gone down a little?
So, but it's fall's not here yet,
We've got a correction of the correction.
and then we'll get a correction of that correction to go up, I believe. So,
I always thought that if the government's gonna be like super invasive with statutes and regulations, they ought to be forcing these oil companies to collect all of this stuff that's escaping. We ought to be capturing it and finding a way to use it instead of just letting it go.
well, I heard an article this morning that the governments overseas are buying all the gas companies.
Why do you think that is?
Well, because they're all gonna go broke and they're gonna nationalize them. So that's how.
They already started nationalizing them in Germany.
Yep, and so that's how, pretty interesting, what has to happen to keeping an economy alive.
Well, excuse me. Well, what had to happen to keep the economy alive was nothing. But there's been a lot of things that the government has imposed upon the people, where now the government has to react to save the people.
Well, that's kind of what it's about.
And
Because
it's
when
just
you
ridiculous.
well, I don't know, when you live in a jungle, you don't have to have many rules, but when you live in a city with millions and millions, or possibly hundreds of millions of people, you gotta have the rules, and someone has to set them, and nobody sets anything perfect. It's just the way
Well,
it
it's
is.
not so much, that's not so much what I'm talking about. I'm more talking about that if we had just kept down the path we were going from a couple of years ago, things would be a lot more hunky-dory now than
You
they
guys look
were.
like you're working hard.
And I'm talking like before the whole country shutdown started. I'm not talking specific
Yeah, but no,
presidents.
but
I'm looking for a little one still.
the economy is driven by the politicians. And if they take you down the
He's
wrong
looking-
road, you pay
He's
for
looking
it.
for a.
How sad is that?
And we're paying for some
How
of the
sad
help.
is that?
That gentleman there.
Mr.
So,
Don?
I say that's sad. Not the way it should be. Economy should be driven by economic factors, not by artificial decisions. Now, some of these artificial decisions are gonna help us in our industry, like the 30% tax credit on geothermal.
yeah, but see, that's a government program again.
But it's got, well, but it is. But hold on now, with the tax credit, now, I'm a libertarian, and I don't believe in government and this and that, government programs and subsidies. But to me, this is not a subsidy. This is you being allowed to keep some of your money that they're taking from you.
Well, but there again, if you don't need that, it is I don't agree with that statement. It's if you were in the solar and turbine business, you'd probably say something different.
No, that's not true.
That's
not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. No, a tax credit for something you're purchasing, whether it's in our industry or, because there's plenty of other industries that I don't get involved in that have this, like geothermal, like you do. If you are paying, if the government is forcing you to give them money because they are charging you taxes, and I've done the calculations a few years ago, our family was paying about 67% of my wife's income on taxes, between income tax, property tax, sales tax, fuel taxes. You start adding it all up. I did at one point. Well, if you're allowed to reduce that number 1 year from 66 to 50%, that's them taking less of your money.
Yeah, but everybody should get that fair share, whether it be some other product.
Okay,
So I don't believe, that.
but many products are subsidized. Oil subsidized through the oil industry. Food is subsidized.
So there again.
Many things are.
So, yeah, many things are, so let's get rid of them all.
I don't do, well, let's get rid of taxes.
So
Let's get rid of a lot of
So
these
anyhow,
taxes.
we're not a tax show, we're a green energy show, so.
But they're related.
Everything's related.
No,
because you
no,
pay-
we're a green money show.
You pay taxes
We're
on
about
everything.
saving our green money.
Yep.
That's what we're about.
So let's talk about if people have a pool or a hot tub. What do you-
Well, that, we
can you
just
help
had a
them
gal
out?
come in, she's getting a water test,
Yeah, we see that.
and, is she gonna close her pool? Head up, no, she.
Hot tub.
Oh, or a hot tub.
Here, come on in front of my camera and show everybody.
Oh,
You, come on, YouTube me right now.
There's the bottle.
There we go, see?
There is a
We got
customer.
water here. Cool.
So anyhow, the season is coming for closing pools. We can test your water to tell you exactly how to close it,
Or a hot tub.
or hot tubs if you're closing your hot tub.
No, no one's gonna close. They're gonna keep it.
Some of them do, some of them go
I
south for
suppose some
winter,
go south. Yeah.
and we should all be going south.
Well, south might come here. At least that's what they're saying.
So the water testing and the pool closing come to DJ's. So then we're gonna go right onto the pool. Are you with me? Where you have your barbecue sitting out by the pool, right?
You aren't gonna shut that down.
No, you're not shutting that down,
Oh,
but you're gonna wheel it a little closer to the front door.
here.
So you don't have to get out so
So I
far.
have to get out so far, so you wanna be planning that out too, getting a little closer to your door.
Sure.
And if you got a pellet barbecue, we sell pellets at DJ's. Get 3-4 bags for the winter,
So you're ready.
so you're ready.
While the price is low.
Why the price is low.
I gotta think, the price of everything. I was driving up listening, and they were talking about, oh, look, Joe's going for a walk. We're talking about all the economic stuff going on, and how everything's just gonna explode in price.
Is that close enough?
Look at
There
that,
you go.
there it is, everybody can see a pellet
Open
grill.
her up there.
See, there it is, that's where the finest food comes out. You know, one thing I've discovered, you don't see too many rib joints around. You know why that is? Because you can make better ribs at home than you could probably get at the restaurant now.
Well, my wife actually said that to me one point about 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't even know why we go out to eat sometimes until you can cook a steak.
That's right, with these new grills and all the technology that goes in, when the temperature control, everything, you can actually make as good or better food than you get at a fancy old restaurant.
Well, we got a
There
couple
he
of
is.
comments. Hi, that's me, yep.
He's pointing at the
Close, huh?
screen.
I'm just reading comments, in case anyone wants to say hey to the Turbine guy, huh?
How about Don? What do you got?
Yeah, say hi to DJ Don.
Hey,
He's the man when it comes to certain things, absolutely.
yeah, I'm going out tonight on a bid for a furnace and some special ductwork. Mom's bedroom's a little cold, so we're gonna go see what we can do about warming up a bedroom with the new furnace.
It'd be a lot cheaper than running an electric blanket all night, wouldn't it?
And as soon as you get done, there's a gentleman that wants to get a wood stove.
Holy Christ.
Okay, yeah, because it is wood stove time. And,
Well, that's why you moved him over here.
Friday, 5 of them went out the door. I mean,
Really?
Yeah, 5 of them.
Are you gonna be able to keep up with inventory?
No, we'll run out. I imagine we got probably another month, and by that time, I would think most of our wood stoves pretty much will be gone
Hello.
for the season.
Isn't that crazy how parts have become such an issue in this country?
Well, they can't make them fast enough. I called, because there was a few I'd like to get replaced. It'd be February or March before I'd get them. The season's over.
I had to get a certain breaker for my client in Colorado, and I had to call 3 different electrical suppliers till I could find one in town.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
It's that simple.
You're not gonna find a whole bag there.
Yep, and Menards doesn't always have a
You
lot of
what?
stuff. You know, and other places don't either. I went to Menards and they didn't have any cement.
Yeah, I've been there 4 times. I'm waiting for their mason or stone concrete to come back in, stone
Yeah,
cement, and, the machine, I guess, is broke down at the factory. They just can't make it.
so you know what I did down in Florida when I needed bricks, because we were working and it was right after a hurricane and all this building was going on, and I
So
went
you're
to Lowe's and I
interested in the
said,
little tall
hey, you know,
one?
I need these. They're like, well, we're out and you'll just have to, no. I wanna place an order, I wanna
Alright.
get in your
And then
queue,
what are we
and when they
doing
get in,
for
deliver.
venting?
And that worked.
Oh, you tell me.
So,
Maybe.
so
This is
you
what
gotta
he's-
learn to be
here's what's
patient,
gonna
but
go
get in
into.
line
That's just
sometimes.
the, right,
So
windows
that's
are out of
absolutely
order.
what I
It's
had to
gonna
do,
be
but
windowed
then
in.
when I got back
You
down there to
basically
work,
just
they
wanna
were
put it
sitting in the
in the corner
driveway,
here.
ready to go.
Ready to
So
go.
just straight up.
So you gotta think ahead, use the
through
old
the rough.
How
log.
much
Yep.
time we got left?
3 minutes.
We gotta talk about some of the equipment we got here. Furnaces and airs, Goodman furnaces and
And I'm
airs.
assuming you're gonna
You
wanna
know,
do
they-
the
they
double
passed
wall
in that
inside.
law, Even heat pumps
Well,
now
it's Sherburne
are
County.
gonna
Of course, you guys
qualify
have
For the
full
tax
permit.
for the
credit.
tax credit.
I'm not into that,
And
you're
so
sitting
we'll
here
do the
saying
double.
I believe
So-
only because of solar
I wanna
power.
talk about it a
Holy
little bit.
Christ.
All the details aren't hard yet, but in order to
How
get a heat
tall is
pump
the
and get the
ceiling here?
efficiencies they look
I
for,
wanna say
it
it's
has to go with
8 to
another
here,
piece
so
of
it's probably
equipment.
10 foot to
So
right there. but
It's
then you
gotta be
got a
turbocharged,
peak,
No, it's gotta be
You
qualified
have to
like
guess
with
by
a
a foot or
special
two.
gas furnace and
Right,
all that
right,
stuff
absolutely.
together. So the whole system is probably gonna get a rebate, for your heat pump. So if you're in the country and you're
It's only
looking at
200
trying to
square
get
feet, that's why I want the small
another
stove
option of
possible.
energy
Right,
efficiency,
right, no, I completely
a heat pump
understand.
could be the answer besides
I'm sure that would
geothermal.
heat probably.
Now, how much energy is that gonna save you over like,
That little
No,
guy
let's
is
let's
quite
put it like this,
powerful.
most of the new heat pumps at 0 degrees, they're over 200% efficient.
200%?
Over 200. At, I think from 0 on up, you're probably gonna
I don't care how
average probably
efficient it is,
between
because
about
quite
275%
frankly,
efficient.
Wow.
Got so much
So
money.
if you look at it that
Oh,
way,
you just wanna
pretty much,
burn it up.
Now, didn't it used to be that heat pumps weren't efficient enough to use up here?
no, they were always
The question
efficient
is,
enough. I
is
don't
it
think the
split?
quality was good.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't really
I
heat
got
up
about
big
10
houses.
cords.
Well,
split already
not
in
saying
California,
that,
so
these will work in
I'll be on it for a couple
conjunction.
years.
Those heat pumps will heat your house probably down to
Thing that wanted to
18, 19, 20 degrees. After that, it's the first part of the cycle, the first 20 minutes would be the heat pump. If it can't keep up, then the gas comes on
Kicks in to
and
help.
finishes the cycle. But ideally, we could probably get to the point where we could possibly cut your heating bill in half.
There you go.
So if you gotta buy a furnace and an air, and you're on LP gas, very possible.
Or propane.
And then you can do an analysis to say,
I'm
maybe I only
assuming
wanna run this
typically
to
you go
20 degrees.
stainless once
Especially
you're outside,
propane.
just because then
Propane, so
it
then,
lasts
Black-
forever.
Black
The system will shut
inside,
off in
stainless
20 and go
outside.
strictly
Or
on
you can do
gas.
galvanized
But,
outside,
government's
just know you're
willing
gonna
to
get about
pay
20 years
rebates
out of it
or
instead of
30%.
essentially.
I don't
How
know
much the
exactly what
difference
that's
is
gonna
that?
be up to
About
a certain
$80
amount.
for a
I think
4-foot
the
section.
maximum rebate on a system
Difference.
is like $6,000.
I'll
That's a
stay
lot
with
of
the
money.
stainless.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanna make sure, I
yeah,
just wanna
no,
make sure you
so-
have all the
no,
information.
You
So
sound like you
all
know
that
more than I do. so.
Information is gonna get
And then what
clarified in
do
the next,
you, what's the pitch of the roof? Do
2
you know?
to 4 weeks. And we know the total
I'd say it
answers, but
looks
I know they're on there and I know the numbers up to
Semi-steep?
$6,000.
Oh, yeah, go back to the picture
So,
of the outside,
um,
there we go.
So if
That's
you're
not
looking to
too-
buy and you're in the country,
That could be like half the cost.
it could be, well, probably a good third because it's gotta be
Third?
high efficiency.
Okay, so a third of the
It can't be
cost.
just any unit.
That's still a third of the
Fine,
cost.
too.
Yes,
Right.
it'd be a
Well,
lot
and
of
if
money
we
being
do an
saved.
install,
Tremendous.
the guys will
All
just
right,
bring
well, we're here
extra
every
pieces,
Thursday, or
whatever
Tuesday,
needed.
3:30.
Yep.
That's where I got that. And Tuesday, 3:30, it's all about the green. We're here at DJ's Energy Saving Store. If you want to check out anything we talked about, go to the website, djscompanies.com, djscompanies.com. And we'll see you all next week. Turbine Guy, signing off.
Did she get you?
We're getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah, it's important to get there.
There you go, folks, that's the excitement.
Which one you looking at?
Just that little one. I just
The
have
2B.
I just have a 13 by 13 and a half, 4-season screen.
Oh, I
porch.
love it. That little long one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, and I got all kinds of, I had oak will go through, so I got a ton of white oak laying around and split. And am I on the damn camera?
Yeah, you are. You're on my YouTube, we got 4 people watching.
Are they gonna watch me spend money?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
yeah, that's like up to 7-hour burn time on that.
Really?
It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
And you can put twigs in there and get a lot of heat.
Yep. Well, I got a lot of split wood already, so.
Oh, yeah.
So he said he's ready to burn it up.
Yeah, that's our last one.
No,
Oh.
that one's sold. We have the ones coming that Raj,
Oh.
that we've had on order, should be here hopefully within the next couple weeks.
Oh.
Everything's
he
hard.
emailed-
How many did I order? 4?
Just the little guys, yep.
Yeah.
I better not tell you guys what I do.
So here's the stove itself,
Mm-hmm.
and then the shipping we add for the surcharge.
I can't say nothing about the shipping.
There you go,
Right?
folks. Actual
At all.
purchase at DJ's.
You have to agree to that.
The black double wall pipe inside, the Class A outside with the install. This is your grand total down here. Oh, you know what? Let me do something real quick here.
Uncle Sam's paying part of the bill,
Yeah, he is. How much? Like 20-some percent?
26%
26.
of everything that happened.
Of that entire total. Yep,
Good.
yep.
That's actually not true.
I'm actually in trucking.
Yeah.
So
That-
I run a 550 truck company.
Oh, there you go.
So I can't say nothing about shipping, all right?
Right.
You know the cost involved there, don't you?
I do. Completely know it.
See, now, I'm gonna argue with what he just said. Federal government isn't paying for a
No,
damn
me
thing.
you are.
Right.
Right, well, what they're allowing you to do is to keep a little bit of your money extra to pay
Yeah,
for this.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's what they're doing.
That's about it.
All right, folks, I think we're gonna sign off of this show. Turbine Guy signing off on It's All About the Green.
Yeah.
Hold on, it goes